Good morning, everybody. November Charlie 4 X-Ray Lima, North Carolina for extreme lovers. I'm not just dumb. Just so the rest of you know that have never had my videos before or haven't been on Facebook and put two and two together, you see that mug right there? It goes with this mug right here. Today, I've been watching for 2 years this Parks on the Air stuff, and it's growing phenomenal. And more people are getting into the activating side of it, which is fun. They become actually an activator hunter because they'll catch themselves hunting while they're driving, like I do, to their parks or whatever. Before we get started, if this video is good and you want to use it in a meeting or send your people to it, a friend to it who might be interested or thinking of becoming an activator, please do. Again, you don't have to like or any of that kind of stuff on my page. I'm just an old man that likes amateur radio, would like to consider I'm trying to help those a few years younger than me or into another field. I've written some notes down about activators. So when we discuss this, old timers, OTs, people like me who've been doing it a year or two, probably are going to just turn your head and shut it off, and that's fine. But you're an Elmer towards the next activators coming up. You're the example towards the next activators coming up. So see if there's something here. First thing we want to share to you new activators, it's your activation. You get to run it the way you feel comfortable. Not the way I run it, not the way he runs it, not the way she runs it, not the way they run it. It's your activation. But first thing, keep in the back of your head is this. It's not a race. It's not a contest. If you get 12 contacts and you're happy, you're satisfied, you're the winner. If you get 142 contacts and you're satisfied, you're the winner. It's your activation. So keep that in mind. Second thing is, and I'm pretty blunt when I say this, there's no failed activation. Every activation is a learning experience in some way, shape, or form, whether it's the type of equipment, the connections that we use, the area we went to, fighting the elements of weather and bugs and stuff like that. But we learn every day. And if you don't get to 10 or 12, and you have an opportunity to get back to that park before a 24-hour UTC time changes, you still can salvage it. Or secondly, focus on this, new activators. Pay attention, new activators. Start hunting if you have internet for park to parks. Until you get comfortable with gambling on propagation, I'd really go out and do like a lot of us do, and that's just go focus on getting all the park to parks that are spotted if you have internet on the spotting page. And yeah, sometimes you have to wait because you're running QRP and you can't get through the pile up, but they'll eventually hear you, hopefully, that you're park to park. And this activator, me, myself, and I, if I hear a park to park, hello folks, I'll work that park to park before I work any locals or DX. That's me, that's my way. You run your activation your way, how you want to do it. The information coming here is just a suggestion. So again, you're not in a race with nobody. You're not going to get a prize for getting the biggest numbers. So take your time and go at your speed where you're comfortable. Talking about comfortability. Some folks are using devices, laptops, Hammers program in their phone or whatever. Whatever you use is fine. It's yours. When you're in an activation, and for myself, I paper log because I can get more in the field on the paper than I can if I'm waiting for a laptop or device to function properly. Okay, that's my difference of opinion. I can get more accomplished, and I like it that way. Plus, I'm retired. I can go home and I can punch it in my N3FJP program. As I do it, I start learning the names of the people because I'm looking at the calls and correlating that name goes with that call sign. Where most people out in the field, they punch a call sign in and they see a name, hi, and okay, I want to know you for who you are when I talk with you, so that's why I do it. So remember, the laptop, if you're using it, if you make a mistake, it'll show you right away. If they say they're in California and it shows that they're in Arizona, they might be on vacation. That's one of the benefits of it. Paper log, I don't get that. So what I do when I do my paper log is, if they tell me Arizona, I write AZ and just keep on going. So when I type it in and I see a difference, I can change it to AZ because they might be on vacation. Or I got the call wrong. You're the activator. If you're unsure of the call, don't worry about the next one calling you. Take care of the one you have in front of you and make sure you have the call right if you can. If you can't, move on. When propagation happens where they're 5-9 and you answer them back and they go down to a 2-2 or gone, you can't fix that. Okay? You can't fix that. Keep in mind that it's not a race, so take your time. Okay? You work the parks. The longer you become an activator, the more folks are going to be working you, the activator, for operator to operator. Getting that 50th contact, that achievement that most people don't recognize, okay? That how close you get. I try to monitor it, but the Facebook page, I post it because that's my warm fuzzy. That's a motivational button for me. When I go out, I get excited about those because it took two of us to make that accomplishment. It took two of us to work the band propagation. It took two of us to go to multiple bands to make those things happen. It's not just a give me, okay? As an activator, you have an opportunity to talk with people and not make them feel like it's just a notch on a belt. Or you have an opportunity to run it as a contest mode where all you're doing is exchanging the same 5-9 when it's not 5-9. You know it as well as I do. But every activator is different. You become the activator you want to be known as, okay? Some people will take a list. I'm pretty popular about that. I upset people because I'm going to take a list. Well, I get through my list pretty darn quick. Some people will take it by an area, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 0. Some people get upset because the activator wants to do it that. It's their activator. They're in that state, in that park. The propagation is different for them. So as a hunter, if you're listening, understand the activator's got something that you don't have, a different set of ears. You don't know what's going on there. 25 people at 5-9 running 1,000 watts sounds like one big squirrel of noise. And to be able to pull out a call, and I'm going to use a good friend of mine, at least I think he's a good friend, James. James gets pile-ups from hell, excuse my French. And he's inadvertently having to wait, secret, to the last party finally shuts the rest of them down and gets their call in before James says, okay, that one. Because everybody else is so 5'9", using amplifiers and whatever else, that it's one sound. And until you've been an activator, you will not understand. So hunters, don't get excited. You need to go out and ride with an activator if you haven't. You get an opportunity, go and listen to what it's like on a pile-up. Okay. So we talked about areas. Some people do one at a time. Simple as that. They'll take one call at a time. That's their activation. As an activator, you run it your way. If you hear DX in there, take time. They have a different dialect. Take time. Make sure you have the call right. Secret, listen up, activators. Most, not all, most DX stations will be following the spotting page. And if you happen to have the spotting page open on your device and you're watching the spots from people spotting you, and you have a DX station that might just be, you're not quite sure, check the spotting page, see if they spotted you. Answer solved. Many times that is another tool to utilize because many DX stations will spot you and make sure you have their call right, because just like you as an activator, you want them in your log, they want you in their log too. So keep that in mind. Every activator is different. When I give my call, or if I'm working with Mike or Steve, or I have a guest with me, it's going to be both our calls and the park numbers, and I'll take a list. And there I go. Then I go back, and then within the 10-minute time frame, I'll do it again as far as the call sign. Some people come in and don't use the spotting page. They're spinning the dial. What's your call sign? Be nice, be courteous, understand, and give them your call sign. Don't get sharp, don't get nasty, because you don't know as an activator what was going on in their environment. You don't know if they have a hearing issue. You don't know if they're blind or semi-blind. So don't assume that they're just being lazy. No, they have a need and a reason. So when people ask questions, don't get upset. As an activator, yeah, rag chewing, we're not all in the market for that at the time when we're activating. But sometimes you need to slow down and smell the roses and talk with people. We've talked about paper log. We talked about laptop. Again, we talked about that it's your activation. It's not a race. You're not going to get a prize in the mail or an extra little gift. The satisfaction you achieve is how many contacts you are comfortable with, or you got your highest ever on, how many park-to-parks that day. I focus real hard on park-to-parks. As an activator, I want every park-to-park I can get. As an activator, and you haven't done this yet, and you're thinking, I really want to get out there and do that, a little secret, there's another one of those little secrets. Go to the spotting page. Work all the park-to-parks, and when you call, give it park-to-park and your park number. Now, you, as the activator of that park, are not spotting on the spotting page because you're not quite ready for the pile-up. Okay? You're not quite ready to hear all that noise, whether it's in CW or whether it's in sideband. But what you can do is work them park to park and make sure, listen, new activators, and make sure if you do that and you only get 8 contacts, upload it. Upload it. Be fair to everybody who worked you. As I work park to parks, and I've had stations that work me park to parks and never upload the log. I don't know why they wanted to talk with me if they're not going to do their part. And as if you get 8, then upload it. It's not a failure. It's the opportunity to have a different type of date next time. It's the learning that occurred at that time. But if you get 27 park to parks, rock and roll. That's an activation. 10 is an activation fully. If you're really crazy and you want to go for a rove, go find 5 parks and do with I use the ATOS on the car. Go make 12 contacts on each and just keep going from there to there to there to there. It's not as easy as everybody thinks it is, because band propagations. Okay? I put this video out because there's a lot of brand new activators. Welcome aboard. You're going to make mistakes. It's okay. You're going to make boo-boos. It's okay. You're going to forget cable, power cords, microphones, pencils. You're going to spill coffee. You're going to have a battery die on your device, and you're like, what do? Pencil and paper, folks. Take paper and pencil with you. Don't let an activation become dead because you don't use your head for more than a hat rack. And use pencil and paper and keep on going. Go home and log it. It'll be just fine. Now, you as a new activator are not on a pressure point of, I got to get that log uploaded. I got to get it uploaded. Charlie knows me quite well, and it's not because I talk to him a lot. It's because I have oops moments too. And many of us activators have oops moments. When we're logging on a device, and if we forget to change the band and we process the system and it uploads, and there the park to park we did is on the wrong band, we either write it off and forget it, or that other party is going to get shysted out of it, or we correct the log, which is going to the help desk and having them delete the log, and you correct your log and upload it and do it again. We're very fortunate. The help desk is very positive people. They're not there to ridicule or get angry. They're going to be there to teach us and help us. If you make a mistake in your log, it's okay. It is a fixable issue once you've uploaded it, okay? But it takes work on both sides. Now, you do not have to get it uploaded the day or 2 or 3 after your activation. If it takes you a week, that's fine. It's your activation. If you're a hunter and you're that impatient, don't work me. I'll say it again. As a hunter, if you're so impatient to worry about my log getting up to there, don't work me. Because I don't need that additional stress on doing the logs and doing the driving and doing whatever I do to get the contact. The log will get there, and if the Lord takes me, you don't need the contact anyways. But give the activators a breathing room. Give them a chance to learn how to do it. They're going to make mistakes. That's part of learning. That's okay. It's when you do something and you don't learn from it that's a mistake. You log, you upload it when you're ready. I use QSO map. I take the ADIF, I send it to QSO map. I let it upload. It shows me a lot of times my boo-boos before I upload them to Parks on the Air. New activators, if you're a little confused, let's see if we can unconfuse you a moment. This is what I do. What you do is your own choosing. If you're in 2 parks and I'm in 3 parks, okay, I'm going to log you twice. Once for this park number, once for this park number. So I have 2 entries. Okay? My suggestion is simply this. If you're going to log me for 3 parks and you're on paper, you log me 3 times, but once for this park, once for this park, once for this park. That's 3 contacts, 3 entries. It's worth your time to do it that way instead of using a comma and it's supposed to do this and it doesn't do this. And if you're on a laptop or a device, ask your occupant on the other end, just a minute, give me the second park, please, and let me get it logged. And when you get through, give me the third park, please, if you would. Don't hesitate to control your activation. You're the one at the other end that has to do all the logging and uploading. The hunter does nada, except get anxious because you haven't uploaded your log. I'm not trying to be ornery, but a lot of folks that are hunters have no earthly idea what's involved. And we appreciate them sitting there in their comfortable house, having a restroom available, and a beverage container, refrigerator or freezer, whatever, and a comfy little chair and so forth, because those are not the elements that we deal with out in the field. And I am not complaining. I am grateful I have a sunrise that I can go out and do this. Hunters, if you're still listening, give your activator the time that they need to get the logs uploaded. Let me look back over my notes. These are some of the things that I wanted to talk about for our new activators. I want to see our activator grow, and grow. And sharing with one another how to do this and how to do that. I haven't talked anything about antennas. That's in other videos. If you look down my videos, you can find some different ways. I pay per log, I show you. Do what works for you. You're the activator. I stress that a lot because many times we as an activator get over-intimidated by those of us other activators who run like the devil. And there's a few of us out there that we can get up and go if we have to. You don't have to be like us. Work one activation at a time and you'll become very similar to what we do. At your speed, at your level, at your pace. May God bless you. Remember, this is not a race. Remember, this is not a contest. Remember, it's your activation. You go out, you have fun. In the end, you're going to be working towards the operator to operator. If you work a park 20 times, that you've been there and activated it 20 times, it's become a repeat offender. If I'm a hunter and I've worked that park 20 different times, 20 different activations have happened there, and I've worked that park as a hunter, it's called a repeat offender for me on the hunter side. So there's always something there for us. May God bless you. NC4XL, North Carolina, for extreme lovers. Oh, I'm not. Just a darling old man. Wishing everybody have a blessed day. And remember, go out and have fun in this hobby. It's not a race.